Happy Independence Day! Today we celebrate July 4th with the one and only Ahmad Ball Hawk Hawkins. You don't want to miss this one. Make sure to give us a follow and a like. The talk is hot on the Cavalier.
Welcome on into another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. I am your host, Jack Lowe, joined as always by my dad, Jeff Lowe, and Jay Ballard. Tonight, we're joined by UVA and 757 legend, known by none other than the ball hawk, Ahmad Hawkins. How are you doing tonight, Ahmad?
I'm doing well. How you gentlemen doing?
Doing great.
Awesome. We appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
So I'm going to try and give a little bit of a background on Ball Hawk. So he was a 4-year starting wide receiver and defensive back for the Hoos from 1997 to 2000. He then played a season in NFL Europe, followed by 10 seasons in the Arena League, where he won an Arena Bowl championship and was selected to the first team All-Arena team in 2007. Other than his playing days, he has found a niche in sports media arena. Let's jump into your UVA.
Did we get all that right?
Did we get it all right?
Yep.
Okay,
all right.
Awesome. So let's jump into your UVA playing career. You were there for the last 4 years of George Welsh's coaching career. What was your recruitment like, and what was it like playing for Coach Welsh?
It was fun playing for Coach Welsh. Man, though I was all set to go to Florida. I was set to go to the University of Florida. Just came off a national championship. My cousin went to Florida State. I had aspirations of going to Florida State, but I was heavily recruited by Florida. And I went down, had my visit there, and met Steve Spurrier, was excited about signing with them. And Coach Welsh, unbeknownst to me, comes to visit like the Tuesday after we won our state championship. And once my grandmother, Big Mom, met Coach Welsh, she was like, babe, I think you should go there. Like, I trust you being with him. Because she didn't meet Steve Spurrier. She didn't go down to Gainesville with me. And, Coach Danny Woman used to call my phone all the time during the recruiting process. And Tom O'Brien as well. And, yeah, man, Coach Welsh was old school. He won Big Mama over. And that won me over. So that's how I got to Virginia.
You know, last night we talked to Jim Harris Jr., who had just committed, and it's funny. He said his mom fell in love with Coach Elliott, and that's why he picked Virginia. We said Mama knows best.
Yeah, man, woman's intuition, man. So
that's right.
And it was the greatest decision I made. Don't get me wrong, Florida had a great football program, and I didn't understand the academic piece when I got to UVA either. So I understand when recruits don't understand how much weight the degree from the University of Virginia has. And, my mentor coach, not coach, but Tony Covington always say the 40-year plan. And it's true, because once I stopped playing and I got into the workforce lane and started going on interviews, and when somebody saw I went to the University of Virginia and I got my degree, eyebrows raised up. So it was a decision I've made, because football is not that much of our lives, even though we're consumed with it. And as you stated in introducing me, I played a decade of arena football. I didn't make millions, but I made really good money. But I didn't want to be part of football in a coaching aspect. Like, once I really sat back and got done with it, and my wife and Anthony Poindexter let me know, like, you might not want to get in coaching, because it's like playing all over again. So that degree helped me leave football in that aspect.
Awesome, yeah. So do you have any special memories that really stand out from playing for Coach Welsh?
I got more practice memories. So games are fun, right? Everybody hears about the halftime speech. I say speech, but the halftime rant that Anthony Poindexter had. I usually share that like every Thanksgiving up to that game. They asked me to relive the tech game, and I always talk about how the locker room really set it off when Anthony Poindexter came in on his crutches. But as far as like funny stories, they all happen in practice and usually all happen in camp. And the deal with Coach Welsh and myself, because if you guys don't know, I'm a light-hearted person, and I want to just make people smile and laugh. And Coach Welsh always wanted to be serious and just I'm down to business. Don't mess with me. I'm Coach Welsh. Leave me alone. And I'm just like, nah, that ain't how I operate. Like, you gonna talk to me. Like, I'm not just gonna be number 80. You gonna say my name. Because when you're first year, he just says whatever number you are. And I was just number 80. I'm like, nah, he gonna say my name my first year. Like, I'll make it a point to. I'm gonna get on his nerves so much. He gonna be like, Christ, Hawkins, just leave me alone. That's all I wanted. So once I was good. But after that, man, it was just like a dare from teammates. Like, Hawk, can you get Coach Welsh to just comment about something?
Oh,
I mean, I probably get my butt chewed out running, or, I got in trouble. But I think over the years, he appreciated that I was that guy that was going to make him laugh, because he came from the service academies and stuff, and Coach Lance. They were always serious, and it's a job to them, but it's like, man, it's a kid's game. Like, let's have fun. I ran to high school. Coach Smith was very serious, but as long as you work, I mean, you can have your fun, but you better do your work. So I took the risk of, all right, I'm gonna have fun, so I got to show up. So, but a fun story. I'll tell you guys a fun story. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. So we was in Hawaii in 2000. This is my last year, and this is Coach Welsh's basically last week of game prep, and that bowl game versus Georgia. And we practicing at a high school in Hawaii. Wasn't the best facility, and guys were kind of complaining, didn't want to practice. So who do they go to? They come to me, hey, Hawk, man, you got to cause something to get coach to kick us off the field. Like, we don't want to practice today. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I want to cherish this time, because it's the last time I played college football. They like, come on, man, like, do us this solid. I did it before when we was in South Carolina. We was preparing for, ironically, Georgia for the Peach Bowl. I got it kicked off the field. I caused a fight with Mo and the coach, kicked off the field. So we in camp. We in practice, and we're in, like, it's early. Like, we're in like one-on-ones. And if anybody ever went through a college practice, one-on-ones is like within like the first 25, 30 minutes. It's out the T period, individual, and then you usually have a one-on-one competition. And the hitters go to 9-on-7. I was a quarter that year, so I didn't have to go with the safeties. We got to hit the running backs and stuff. So we're doing one-on-one drills, and I see guys in the 9-on-7 who really hitting that don't want to hit. See, I'm good. Like, we're not hitting, so I can care about practicing. It's just conditioning. I'm running. So those guys are kind of looking like, oh, hey, man, you all right? And that's like a cue, like, come on, man, set it off. So, all right. So I go through my one-on-one. I forgot who I was checking, but I get my hands on the football. I intercept a one-on-one pass. So I'm doing my job. I get an interception, and instead of me just tossing the ball back, I just throw it at one of the quarterbacks. Like, whoever try me, and I throw the ball at him. And that Coach Foss protect his quarterbacks. He's like, Christ, what are you doing? Don't do that. Are you okay? Don't do that. I'm like, whatever. Don't tell them, don't try me, coach. Next rep come up. I get a. It was almost like the receivers knew what I was doing too, because they was kind of, milking it. So brother, they was letting me like cover them. So I don't want people thinking I was locking people down. It was everybody was in close. The quarterbacks didn't know though. That's what made it work, because they didn't. I don't know. It might have been Matt Schaub or was it Dan? But the next time I didn't intercept, I got my hands on the ball and I threw the ball at him again. I told you don't try me. Now, granted, this is one-on-one. You have to try me. And I throw the ball at the quarterback again. And Coach Welsh is closer to him. He's like, if you do this one more time, I'm kicking you out of practice. I'm like, got him. Lo and behold, he stops our drill. So we get the skeleton, and that's even better. 7-on-7, that's even better because you're not supposed to touch the receivers. And he told me don't throw the ball to the quarterback. Somebody run, we in cover 2. Somebody they run like a slant out, and the quarterback throws it to the tight end, almost like he knew. We're gonna get kicked out, but they didn't know. They just made an errant pass. So maybe I just disguised it well. The interception. And instead of running to the end zone, throw the ball. You know what? Everybody off. I'm not dealing with this today. Man, I never seen guys run through the locker room so fast. The coach didn't talk to me the rest of the day. I see him at the buffet. I'm like, what's up? Cry, get away from me. you just don't know when to stop. This is a great day of work because of you. So that's a funny
great story.
Right. That's fantastic.
Oh man, I'm sure Welsh was a treat after that.
Yeah, hey, he probably had to throw his hat 2 or 3 times during that event.
Hey, you know what's so funny? Coaches usually in he did like either the golf cart or the Gator. You know, the Gator, the little green
John Deere.
Yeah, the dummies and stuff, the tackle dummies. I don't want people thinking, calling players dummies, but tackle dummies. But Coach Wells would be in his own little, he had his routine, right? So while we were in stretch, and Coach didn't get out there early enough to do his laps. So both fields were together. So he walked around both fields, perimeter of both fields. I don't know if it equaled up to a mile or what, but he had a certain amount of laps that he did between around both fields. Sometimes he would like half jog. And when we came out for stretch, he had a nice little lather going, and he'll just inspect how you were stretching. If, hey, come on, get loose. You got to get ready. Like that's the lowest you can go. Like, so when he would walk through, I used to be like, come on, Coach, you got to do a cool down. You just can't walk around and then look at the stretch. You got to stretch too. He was like, I can't. That's why I watch you guys.
Oh gosh.
I wish he was still around. I would love to be able to talk to him and just pick his brain and get some stories off of him. I'm sure he'd probably have a ton to share. But
yeah, he got more talkative once it was done than everybody else. Like around us, he had talked. Like Coach was he had a facial expression, like don't approach me to facial expression. But if you just ignored it and went to talk to him, he was like one of the greatest human beings you'll ever talk to. Like so smart, paid attention to everything that went on, so he would know everything about you, like how you grew up, coach paid for, what you did in high school. He'll learn about your hobbies, ask you about those hobbies, ask you how your family was doing. If you felt like you were a little homesick or you're just going through a rough patch, he'll just say, hey, when the next time you're going to see your mom, dad, or your grandma, like when the last time you talked to them, like call them, like, it'll help with your spirits, or come talk to me, that type of stuff.
Right.
So, he was a great guy, really great guy.
That's awesome. So when you got to UVA, Aaron Brooks was your quarterback. Obviously, he's a local guy, 757. We're 757 guys too. Did you know Aaron growing up in Hampton?
Yeah. So my dad coached Aaron Pony League. So that was the 13 to 15-year-olds. He coached that age group, and Aaron played for my dad. Aaron also, we played 1 year of Little League. So at Anderson Park in downtown Newport News, and Al Iverson played there. Michael Vick played in that league. Chris Morant, a host of other great guys. That league was from 6 to 12 years old. That was the age.
Man.
So I was 6 years old, and Allen Iverson, Bubba Chuck, struck me out in a championship game. I was 6, he was 12.
Oh man.
And Iverson was in the backstop talking trash. I would get the bat and crouch down really low and get walks, and then you couldn't steal, but I was really fast at 6. So if somebody got a base hit, I could get around the bases fast. So he was the only person to strike me out that year. Played for the Anderson Park Orioles, and I played for the Mets.
And 12-year-old talking trash to the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
I mean, but I knew Bubba. So
Right.
my mom would babysit Bubba. She was good friends with Ann, so she knew me. So that's why I was funny of her, like you said, like a 6-year-old kid, but she know I'm one of her own, and he laughing. He know I haven't even swung the bat all year, so he's like he not going to swing. So let me just get it to the mitt.
Right.
Well, yeah, I knew Aaron, man, and Aaron was a guy that I looked up to. He went to Ferguson High School, phenomenal athlete. He could throw a curveball to make you duck, and it would break and hit mid-force strike. So it would look like it was going to hit you. You either duck or back up, and it'll break into the mitt. Phenomenal athlete, could play basketball as well. And this lets you know how social media has changed the dynamic of recruiting. I didn't know that Aaron went to UVA until I came on my visit.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
And both of you in Hampton.
I forgot all about it because once they left, if you left the 757, because I knew about Hampton University and Norfolk State. You know, like James Rowe and Sparrow and them. Those are two schools that those were the big schools to me. Like a lot of people don't know this. I want to go to Hampton University. My dad went to Hampton University, was Hampton Institute. So I wanted to go to Hampton University.
Mm-hmm.
But Hampton University saw Division I schools recruiting me, and they really didn't recruit me. And they didn't know. It wasn't like I was saying, hey, I want to go to Hampton. But that was like for me to get recruited by Hampton and Norfolk State, not knowing that wasn't a big fish. You know, it was just a big fish in our small pond locally, which is great. And I remember Jermaine Crowell was my host. And no, Aaron was actually my host. But Jermaine Crowell helped facilitate getting me around campus. But when I got here and I saw Aaron, I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, I go here. I was like, oh, that's what happened to you. That's why I'm seeing you no more.
That's where you at. There's one thing about Aaron. I love Aaron Brooks. He's not lacking confidence. Jay and I they were playing Wake Forest, and we went to the game. This was at Wake Forest, and we were listening to, and it was a close game. Wake Forest was not good then, and Virginia pulled it out, and they interviewed Aaron after the game, and Aaron's like, man, we talking about Wake Forest. I won't concern. This is Wake Forest. And then I actually met him at a Virginia basketball game, and I said something to him about it. Man, I said, this is the greatest quarterback in Virginia history. He said, show you right. That dude
Aaron's
is confident.
I could tell you a funny story about confidence in Aaron, right? And maybe, I don't know, I was really naive when I first got here because I was still like living in my high school brain as far as like how football was perceived. I remember I was in practice. Sparky Woods was offensive coordinator, and we had read routes where, depending on where the defensive back was at, you're either running a 10-yard stop or you're on a go route. And your relationship with the DB will let you know if you stop or if you keep going vertical. I'm a guy that caught like 19 touchdowns on 39 catches in high school. All I did was run deep. So I'm not stopping for nothing. I could run past. In my mind, I could run past anybody, right? So I remember one time we look at him with the quarterbacks, which was rare. And Aaron is like, they called me 80 Ock. He was like, 80 Ock, hey, you got to sit that down right here. Like the DB, DB is still got a 2-yard cushion. Like, just sit that down so we could just get you the ball. And I kind of like looked at him, and I didn't think anything of it. I just nodded my head. And another rep came, and I did the same thing. So he said it again. He said, 80 Ock, like, see, again, you got to sit. And, this is film study, and I'm getting a little frustrated because I feel like they keep coming at me, right? So I go, well, obviously, I'm letting you know I can still beat them deep. So let's let it fly, man. Like, ask Ronald, ask Coach Smith. I run deep. I ain't come here for no short route. I run deep. I'm for everybody out there. And Aaron just started laughing. I remember Sparky kind of looked at me after the meeting. Aaron goes, hey, man, I like your confidence, but you gotta listen. Like, I still gotta throw you the ball. So if you keep doing what you say you're gonna do, you're not gonna get the ball. You're gonna be running for nothing. You're gonna be running track.
Right.
Oh God. So you also overlapped with Matt Schaub for a year.
Yeah.
Could you tell how good he was going to be? Was there anything special about him? Like, I know, early on, it may not have been as obvious, as obviously when he progressed to his playing days.
So my analyst side is going to say, man, Matt obviously had the tools, had a live arm, was very heady. But the petty hawk in me is like, I did not know he was going to be that good. Like, all I knew was Matt was the tallest quarterback I've seen in my life. I just knew he was really tall, got a big arm, and I would harass him saying, come on, throw me one today. That's all I used to say to Matt. You going to throw me one today? Like, I'm going to pick you off. Like, I was really rude because he was young, but you did see flashes. Like, all jokes aside, you did see flashes because Bryson Spinner came in with Matt. I was really close with Dan Ellis as well, and they were pushing Dan. Both of those guys were pushing Dan to play as youngsters. So we knew something was there. With Bryson, his athletic ability, but Shabby was just really heady, process information fast, can anticipate routes, and just had a really good ball. Do a really catchable. Like, I wish I was still playing receiver when he was throwing passes, because I caught passes from Aaron and even Dan threw the ball hard, and even David Rivers threw the ball hard. Like, but do like catchable footballs for a receiver, like just nice pitch and catch, not like soft, but they were catchable. Right. The dudes I played with just 100 miles, and like Aaron threw it 100 miles an hour for no reason sometimes.
Oh yeah,
show off that cannon.
Yeah, man. Like, why are you throwing it so hard? It's a 5-yard stop route. Like, come on, man.
Oh man. So I know we've already kind of talked about this, but unfortunately, in Jack's lifetime, Virginia has not beat Virginia Tech one time in Blacksburg. And of course, the last time we did, you had that memorable touchdown to win the game. Any other memories from that game or from that winning touchdown?
Yeah. So we haven't beaten them down there. We've beaten them since, but not down. Oh, yeah, you said down there, right?
Down there.
Yeah. Once in my lifetime.
Yeah, so I got a lot of memories. I got the fight with the punter, with Donnie Green fighting the punter. Never seen that in my life. Sometimes anybody can get it. You got a helmet on.
That's right.
You got to get it too. First of all, Virginia Tech took pride of special team, so we're gonna cut the head of the special team. We're gonna get you.
That's right.
So I remember the fight right there. Thomas Jones had the catch to me of the game in the corner end zone when the linebacker came free. I think it was a miscommunication with the slide pro. Aaron might have went the wrong way. Something happened, but the linebacker came free. Aaron played Houdini, threw the ball off his back leg, and Thomas made the same type of catch that John Ford made, the original catch at Tech. So it's ironic that they consider my catch the catch when you had John Ford's fingertip catch at Tech and then Thomas Jones' fingertip catch in the end zone, in the right end zone. But it was the same end zone we scored in. Byron Thweet, who's like the unlikely guy to score a pick six, because Thweet was fast in high school. I don't know what happened when he got to college, like straight line speed. He was like sideline to sideline fast, but nah, man, Thweet's the one picking him and putting him down. So we knew something was going to happen good when Thweet scored on a pick six, like, and nobody caught it. And I was like, yeah, we going to win this. And we were still down by a lot, but when Thweet scored, Uno and I'm out, like, yeah, we're going to win this. We're going to win this, Jack. And talk about Aaron confidence, that last drive, Aaron is smiling. Smiling, like, so I came into the game almost supposed to be in the game. Kevin McCarthy's contact came out, and I just ran into the game, and we were running mirror routes, and Terrence was having a great game, and we had mirror routes on the outside, like corner routes, where you could dog it depending on what the corner was playing. And Casey Crawford had an option, a Y option, basically what we see what the Cowboys used to run with Sweden all the time. And we ran that play all the way. That was the same play all the way down. When we threw the ball, it was the same play because it was so many routes put into that one play. So when I came in, Aaron's like at the sideline. He looking in the huddle. I'm scared out of my brain. He calls the play. And I just feel a hand on my shoulder. I'm coming to you, dog. They ain't gonna never expect you to get the ball. Like, nah, don't throw it to me. no. It's too important. Why are you throwing it to me? Throw it to Terrence. Nah, I'm coming to you. Just be ready. You'll catch it. Because I had just dropped a touchdown pass versus UNC the week before, so my confidence wasn't high at all. Like I was doubting myself, and he made sure I caught the ball because he hit me in the face with it. But for him to be in that moment, kind of like relaxed and just like, nah, I'm coming to you. They ain't gonna never expect that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
It would have been remembered forever, but when you fell to your knees and spread your arms, that picture, that will never leave my head. That'll be a memory of my lifetime.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So moving from your playing days to the current Cavaliers, what are your thoughts on the new football facility, and how do you think it'll help with recruiting?
I am very envious of the group. That's a nice facility, man. If y'all miss any workouts, any meetings, anything in that building, I'm gonna come knock on your door myself. Like, they did a wonderful job. The donors, the builders, everybody that okayed it, everybody on the board that said yes, we need it. Thank you. And I'm not even enjoying it. I don't even use it. And I'm thanking y'all. So it's great, man. The weight room is huge. The training room is huge, and so much state of the art equipment, top to bottom. The aesthetics, the cosmetics, any little famous descriptive you want to use is there. Coach Elliott not allowing us old heads to be forgotten. So, just having blurbs about big game in the past, showing you former greats on the wall with the big fat heads and stuff like that, and having to sign the state of Virginia if we come from the state of Virginia and what part we're from, and autographing our name from the region that we're from. So dope in itself. And then their locker rooms, man. Like, when I got a McHugh, I think it was like 4 or 5 years old. And when we wanted to sleep in a McHugh, we would take a blue mat that was like the seat, but you take it out the locker and put it on a floor, on a carpet, and lay down. It was like a big pillow. These jokers could sit in the locker, hit a button, and their feet just elevate. They in Alamo movie theater, and they can go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even gotta leave their locker. So it's awesome, man. It just lets you know, like, man, we been messing up. So it's like the day that it opened, I think we had like 20 recruits here, and they got to enjoy it, and as much. So here's the thing. The new facilities don't just equal wins, but it just helps with coming to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a new car, you ready to drive, right? You ready? Where you need to go? You get a new house, I'm going home.
Yep.
So it's just something that gives you that motivation, and that's what recruiting is all about. It's like, what can you offer the next generation as far as the amenities, because you're at that facility majority of college career you're spending I was at the McHugh. So back then we would practice at 3:30. I would go to the McHugh at 6 a.m. to work out, go to class, and be back at the McHugh at 1. And wouldn't leave the McHugh until like 9 after study hall and stuff.
That's crazy.
And then in the off season, you're there even more because you're lifting and you're meeting with coaches if you can, or you just around. You want to make sure you're documented as being there and working. So that's like you have a dorm, don't get me wrong, but the food is there. So I'm gonna go there. The food is free.
Right.
So my bad. So what is your relationship like with Coach Elliott? And does he look to alumni like yourself to help recruit for the next great who?
Man, that's a great question. Yeah. So anytime we want to make ourselves accessible and we feel like we can help with a recruit, he's all for that. He understands the relationship with the former players, how we paved the way for the guys that are currently there. And if you are alum, it's an open door policy. He wants to, learn all about you, learn about the traditions you had when you were here that made you successful. What can he do to help blend those old traditions with the current traditions so they can be successful in themselves? He allows us to have full access to the players and speak with them. The mentor program that he has is great. So it's just one of the things where you love it when a head coach keeps those line of communications open. Elijah Gaines is my mentee, so just being able to talk to Elijah, and Elijah wants to get into broadcast journalism and wants to podcast, and seeing him take it upon himself to now with younger people, and he spoke to the board of directors and all the fans and supporters when they open a new facility. So just seeing those type of relationships built through Coach Elliott and his vision for the standard program, it just means a lot, man. And I would say, Bronco did a good job of rekindling the alums with the players, but Coach Elliott kicked the door down.
That's awesome.
Love to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this could be a controversial question. So looking at this season, who do you think right now would take the first snap under center this fall for the Who's?
Me personally, right? And this just speaks to both of the quarterbacks and their skill set, but I'm just be honest with you. I feel like Musket will be the opening day starter. Because if you're going through camp, majority of the time you're not a quarterback. You tap into the true greatness of Calandra when you allow him a possibility of him being hit. He has a spider sense. That's his superpower.
Yeah.
You factor in the moving parts of the crowd. Just when you know it's live. Tony's a guy that, and this some people may think I'm dissing Tony as I'm saying it like this, but it's some guys who could just master the craft of when it's controlled, they're gonna show up and just be consistent. So this is not me dissing Tony Musket because I like control environment. He got the advantage, and I'm dissing Anthony because he can only function if it's chaotic and everything's broken down. I'm just saying when it comes to evaluating those two talents, their powers kick in two totally different environments. So you really not going through camp allowing a quarterback to get, because the physicality part, the quarterback is the one position you can't truly evaluate them through the physicality piece. Linebackers, linemen, DBs, running backs, receivers. The physical aspect comes into play in camp. You go live scrimmage, boom, they hitting. He ain't as good as we think he is because he cowering. He don't want to hit. He don't like to get hit. He got alligator arms. He want to stick his head in there. He fit right here. He ran away from resistance. Every position, you can use that to really confirm somebody's ready for the game, except for the quarterback position.
Right.
So that's why a lot of times the dynamic guy isn't really the opening day guy unless they trust their gut and just go with the dynamic guy.
Right.
Usually the seasoned veteran even kill quarterback is going to win a quarterback competition. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this is a good comparison or not, but like Chris Leak and Tim Tebow, you didn't know what Tim would run today until you put him in the game and let him get hit. And it was hey Chris, come here, take a series off. Go, Tim. Get hit.
That makes sense.
Turn into Superman. So me personally, man, I think, and I like Tony, and even Coach Elliott said the key word, they showed they could win with either one. That's the tough part. Both of them showed what? We could win with one of them. I know one thing, how 10 played versus Louisville, but then how Musket played versus UNC.
Right.
I'm just man, they say if you got two, you ain't got none until you get to 2024. It's we got both of them. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right.
It's a good problem. Good problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably both see snaps. I mean, the thing that worries me about Tony is just his health. If he is in there, and AC stayed with it last year when I thought he was going to redshirt, because he had hit his max number of games. And then when he went in, when Tony got banged up, I was like, okay, well, he might be the guy then. And he was really impressive.
Yeah, and then
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, and just to speak to their relationship, because I know a lot of them. Look, we know about the transfer portal today. We know how some young people feel very entitled. Salute to Anthony Calandra of being old school, stand here, not running to the biggest suitor with NIL because he showed great flashes where somebody could have just dangled that carry. Like, come here, get the keys to the car. Their relationship is awesome. Like, they're each other's biggest cheerleader when either one of them is on the field. There's no ill will, no envy, no hate, no. Like, when they were down in Miami after we beat UNC, seeing Calandra like being the first guy to go up to Tony if Tony's struggling, like, you still got this, man. You must get, baby. Like, let them know who you are. Let them, like, instead of, he could have just been like, yeah, keep stinging it up so I could play in his brain. But he cheering them on, and when he make a nice pass, he the first one waving the towel. Like, he's his biggest like advocate, and I think that's why no matter what, Calandra is going to be successful. He's going to be successful. It's just we're at the standpoint right now with the programs that we got to win games. So there's a lot of pressure on Coach Elliott to get it right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the guys they're going to be throwing to, losing Malik Washington, who, I mean, he had the best season I can ever recall, and statistically he had the best season in Virginia history. But the guys that are coming back and that they've added, in Tyree and Green and Harris, and brought in Tyler Neville, so now you got a receiving threat at tight end, and you still got Malachi Fields there. Can you talk about like those guys and that group and position and just what you expect?
Yeah, man. So salute to Malik, Dr. Miami office right now in the 305. Phenomenal year coming from Northwestern. I just remember his confidence, talking with him around this time last year, and he's just being very confident. Like, I'm gonna keep my eye on this kid, and I just remember Coach Mims just raving about Malik. So seeing Malik have that special of a season after starting very slow versus Tennessee, where he had maybe 1 or 2 catches, but with guys coming back first, Malachi Fields, right, from Monticello High School here locally, local Charlottesville kid, big strapping Herman Moore type of receiver.
Oh yeah,
he was a guy that, just like Herman, did everything in track. But Malachi would do shot put, discus, high jump, long jump, 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, 300 meters, and 500 meters. Like, he could do everything. So just seeing him be successful because he was a quarterback in high school, as music in my ears was, second team on ACC last year, and made some big plays for us. The thing with Malachi, you just want him to be a little bit more vocal and be a little bit more greedy too. Like, yo, keep feeding me the rock, because I think he could do some special things, just because it's tough for a DB to bring him down 1-on-1. We saw in Miami, we had like a 3rd and 7. He caught the ball like 4 yards down the field and just stiffed on the kid and cut inside and got 8 or 9. Yeah. But Trail, so Chris Tyree's the burner. We have seen this type of speed since Olamide Zaccheaus, and even Olamide is not as fast as Chris is. Like, Chris got a gear I haven't seen his since like probably Darius Jennings. Before then, it's like Tavon Mason. Like,
that's that big
speed. The kid from UNC, Dre, is good. I really like Trail though. It's just something about him, Okay. So they all have dynamics that's a little different. And you talked about the tight end piece. Our fan base love when you incorporate the tight end. So
oh yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Coach Kitchens. If you incorporate the tight end early, you're gonna be a fan favorite, baby. You throw the tight end at UVA, they love you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they definitely had weapons on the outside. Kobe Pace is at running back. Xavier X-Man is back. So we got some guys. We got some weapons, man, but it all starts up front. 5 guys up front. consistent.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, and you got to protect the guys up front because every good team in here, UVA, look up front. They were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to have those NFL guys coming through consistently with, Elton Brown and Ray Brown and Brickashaw Ferguson. And, you had a list of them that were coming through. And we hadn't had a guy like that that I can think of off the top of my head, in the
we had Olu, then Olu went to Michigan.
Right,
and then got all the trophies to go Michigan.
Morgan Moses.
Then Morgan. Well, we did have Morgan. Yep, Morgan Moses. Look at that. Thank you. Yeah.
So coming into this year, can you give me one player that you expect to have like a breakout season that maybe the fans may not, they may know who he is, but like he's going to come on the scene hard, offense or defense, wherever you want to go.
So ironic, I talked about receivers. I didn't talk about Darian Harrison. I think he's special.
Ooh, yeah.
I said his name last year, so I'm not gonna say his name again this year because he was like the freshman that is gonna jump out, and he got banged up, but he's still gonna be special. And he's wearing number 1, and he comes from the same high school as Lavelle Davis, so salute to that. But the one name I just said his name. I think Trail. When they see Trail at receiver, he's different. He's just different. He's just different. I ain't saying he's faster than everybody. I'm not saying he's quicker than everybody. But when that joker get the ball or have to get open, he's just different. And I think people, they would be pleased with him. And I want to give all these receivers a clean slate.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody saying who's going to be the next Malik. I don't think that's fair.
Oh, no.
I want to be the first them because don't try to go out there and I mean, you can if you want, but don't try to go out there and duplicate everything Malik did individually because you don't realize how special of a season he had. Like everybody knew the ball was going to him.
Right.
It goes to just his ability to run routes, pitch ability to devise schemes and route combinations to get 4 open, to help get 4 open because 4 did a lot of work on his own, but everything works hand in hand. The play calling, the quarterback seeing the field, and then 4 maneuvering his way through the secondary. But I really like our receiving core, man. Shout out to Coach Mills. Coach Mills does a good job. You know, I love Marcus Hayden. This is my brother, come from Hampton High just like me. And I think Coach Mills has done a phenomenal job of just carrying on tradition of making sure that group is prepared and playing at a high level.
What about the defense? What do they need to do to improve this year and, finish games?
First thing, like this coming from a former defensive back too. Man, you gotta go get the quarterback. Make my job easy, okay? Yes. Don't let me cover too much. I'm gonna get exposed. My weakness is gonna show. But with Chico and Cam back, man, and then the juggernaut in the middle, I like that group. I like the defensive line group a lot. I really do. I mean, Chico Bennett healthy with Cam healthy.
Yes,
they getting after you.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited about that group. I really am.
Yeah, I love Cam a lot.
Yeah. And then you got the young boy. Then you got young Cam at linebacker. You got James at linebacker. I mean, so that group in itself can be good because those 2 guys. So you got Jackson and Robinson at linebacker. That's a very athletic linebacker core. Like so. Kind of thing. I don't think we had a linebackers this athletic since the days of like Micah was downhill, Henry Coley, they were downhill. They were like barbarians type. I'm gonna bite your face off type linebacker. I'm talking about like Ahmad Brookses and the D Haleys and the Blackstocks. Like those dudes was like athletic. Yeah. They could run. Like if they scoop and score, they get a pick, they turn into a running back.
Right.
That's the type of athleticism I'm talking about that's here now with those 2 jokers. Like, they could go. I like them too, man. I'm excited about our defense. Then the bookends at safety, you got Sanker, who was all-ACC, all-world, went to Covenant, another local kid. Hey, local kids, if you here, look what the 2 local kids doing that's on the team now.
Yep, that's right.
And then, Antonio Clary, AC, just healthy. If he's back there, he helps us out a lot, And then with corners, we got transfers. The kid from Penn, I know it's high expectations for him.
Kendra Smith, I think.
Kendra Smith. It's high expectations for him. And just depending on like my mentee Elijah Gaines, how he is with this health. And then Dre. Like, first of all, Dre is gonna start at one of the corners. Like Dre last year was our best cover corner in my opinion. But then you got Malcolm Green as well. So I like what we have on defense. With the front four, front five, whoever, you gotta get home. So it's hand in hand related, right? Don't get beat quick as a DB. Allow them to work their games, and then when you work your games up front, whether you're doing twists, slants, get home. So it's all about that happy median. And I think Coach Roy to do a good job of putting guys in position to be successful. Like, we have pieces to be successful this year. It's just, to me, it's gonna come down to offensive line play, and those guys showed that they can get better. Stevens really jumped out, like had a really good year once he got the nod. So, Boley, all those guys is being healthy, being a cohesive unit, and coming together. Because when we saw Bryce Perkins be special here at UVA, the front five was keeping him upright.
Oh, yeah.
Outstanding. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the last time I bring up this team, but why do you think Virginia Tech's had our number for so long?
A lot of times, man, it might be shape, because even though you had different coaches or it's a different wave, you just believe like, I'm not losing to them right. Jokers. I'm not losing to you, and that's just what it is. Like, your mentality is, no matter what, I'm still better than you. And they had that mindset. I saw that mindset with us in 2019. I know it's cliche, we won. Because in 2018, that team was very confident as well. It's just some of the freakiest things happened that day, especially the scooping scoring it, like the scooping, like jump on the football in the end zone, and Brendan Nelson, like ankles and everything was just off. He couldn't just drop down on the ball. And, Bryce Hall hadn't been beat for a touch like that. And the guy makes a spectacular catch. Oh, and the one kicker in 2018 was when Tim Harris got caught by the quarterback. Like, that's how I knew something was wrong. He got caught by the quarterback with an interception. But 2019, Bryce Perkins had a nastiness about him in the summer. Somebody tweeted, because it was something with the hammer, and the punter tweeted him and said, "Don't drop the hammer," because he fumbled, and Bryce took that to heart and had a look in his eyes for that game. So that's why you saw those third downs. We were calling quarterback draws, because Bryce was like, "Give me the D ball, like, give me the damn ball. All this cute stuff. Let me run downhill." So that's why you saw both third and longs. It was quarterback draws, because 3 was like, "Nah, I'm gonna show and drop the ball this year." And then I see, like, if you look at that game, it was nastiness and it was fights again, man, like true fights, not
when they took Aziz Dubois to the brick wall.
See that? And then when this Aziz got the other bang egg that he caught, instead of trying to outrun the dude, he ran to him to stiff arm him 5 times. Like, it was that nastiness, man. So Virginia Tech, credit them, don't kill me, Wahoo, but credited them. They come in with that nastiness of, I don't care if I'm classes, I don't care if I'm not polite. You are a rival. Forget you. And we're gonna come on your field. We're gonna smoke cigars. Forget your security. So when we go up to Siberia this year and go to Blacksburg, and I heard they can't play that little Enter the Sandman. Somebody copyrighted. Did the band say they can't play Enter the Sandman no more? I hope that happened. So now you gotta take away that.
I think that had something to do with the college football game coming out on.
So they can still play.
I think I could be wrong, but they can't get licensed because it's expensive or something. But
yeah, let me see if I could do something about that. They're gonna be ready to play the intro. I'm like, we can't play the intro. Yeah, man. This year we go down there and beat them. I need all the Wahoo fans that's there, you brave souls, because they'll try to assault y'all down there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Jump on that man.
I'm with you. I wanted somebody to assault them when they came out to that team picture last year.
I will say last year that the players were uptight, and as a player, you always like stuck between a rock and a hard place because you wanted to have your pride and defend your turf, but the game is over and you didn't control what you could control, which was the outcome.
That's right.
So as much as we have fans, and I'm like, oh man, we should have just did this and did that, and I'm like, you an adult now, you can't. You know what I'm saying? So, we would have tried though. We did when we want. I mean, come on, man. We fought the pun in '98. Like we didn't care. It was like Road Warriors, back in the day. Oh, what a rush! We had the spike shoulder pads on.
Yeah, Covington said when we talked to him, they would never have had the audacity to even think about coming on the field.
First of all, did y'all see Cove how he looked in his ass? Nobody will have the audacity to do anything extracurricular with 5 out there. With a towel that was touching the turf entire game he's playing. And then he got a full lineman face mask with lineman pads, still moving like he a ballerina. Right. Like, you got to be a special human being to put on lineman pads and have a beach towel on like Cove did and still be really fast.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, what do you think is a realistic ceiling and a realistic floor for this year's team?
Oh, great question. So, realistic ceiling, looking at this, sound like Woody from I'm showing my age, the old ESPN when the
Woody Hayes or something.
That was in Denver because when I was playing with the Crush, he was prevalent in Denver. But he said, if you look at the schedule, you would see. So just looking at the schedule, I can see us winning, stealing 8 games because a lot of the teams, it's a quarterback-driven league. So it's like, who your quarterback? If you got to say who they quarterback, then I got a chance.
Right.
Just like they did with last year. Who Virginia quarterback? We got a chance. Yep. Oh, Brennan Armstrong coming back? Let's wait and see first. Okay, now we got a chance because, it was a transition. But if I have to, look at, let me see, Louisville, UNC, I know who Clemson quarterback is. Pitt won't that good that year, or it don't matter who their quarterback. But when you look at schedule, that's what you do. Especially as a former player, you just be like, I don't know about this one. Oh yeah, we get that one. That's like Virginia Tech, that's gonna uphill battle. Everybody and Drones is really good. If I could identify your quarterback, I'm gonna pump my brakes. I ain't talking no trash to you. So Virginia Tech fan, I ain't talking no trash to you. I like your quarterback, really good. Okay, so you got it. But if you just name the other team, Coastal Carolina, I know we go down there. Notre Dame, I mean, that's still Notre Dame, but I don't know who your quarterback is. That's just how I approach it because we know it's a quarterback-driven sport.
Yeah.
So I think 8 is the ceiling. Floor, we can't afford to have a floor. So the floor better be bowl eligible, okay? I'm just being honest with you. You can't afford to win less than 6 games. You got to be bowl eligible this year. You just got to in your 3rd year. It's the 3rd year. You got to. In my opinion, that's going to be the pressure that's going to be placed upon Coach Elliott and the staff because you're returning a nice core group. You got the facility now, so you can't use it as an excuse anymore. And you got quarterbacks. Everybody know you. Look, I like Musket. I think Musket's going to start. But everybody know you got 10. Everybody worry about 10.
Yep.
So that helps you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know 10 is there. They kind of on the fence with Musket because they are enamored with the Ferrari. They like, man, that's a nice shiny car. It's red. How much insurance I'm paying? I'm driving that car. So I think we can win 6 to 8 games, man. 6 at the worst. And this might be a lot of pressure, but hey, man, I'm not playing. I'm gonna put it on y'all.
That's right.
Jay.
So we did want to congratulate you on your new gig at the Virginia Sports Radio Network. You know, we know it's probably tough replacing Cove, and we know you guys' relationship is great. You get to work with Matt Schaub. You know, what are your thoughts on your new position?
Man, I'm super excited. It's bittersweet because Cove is a mentor. I mean, he helped me with my journey 12 years ago. Well, it'd be 13 when I auditioned for it when Frank left and Cove got the opportunity. And I started in the high school circuit with Channing Poole and also Luke Neer on 1070 WINA on Fridays with the local high school teams here, and did that for multiple years. And then just working with Jay James on Cavalier Countdown, and then filling in as a sideline reporter, and always having aspirations, just being part of the broadcast team in any capacity, just always being prepared. When I started doing filling in the sideline, you know, Dave Kane helped me transition to that because they're looking for different things. They're not looking for you to be an analyst. They're looking for you to get injury reports, mindset, stuff with the turf, weather, the other moving parts. And when I got the call this spring from Cub, and you know, Cub let me know the conversation he had with the higher ups, and you know, getting a call from the higher ups a day later. So just saying, hey, you know, if you haven't heard the news, this is the news. Would you be interested in auditioning? And I was transparent. I was like, let me talk to my mentor first, because I value our relationship. He's done a lot for me. So, and he gave me his blessing. Like, he was like, go for it, man. Like, go for it. Do this, do that. And when I got the position and it was announced, he was the first one to call me, be excited. Like, think about that. Like, a lot of times you could be really like envious and have resentment, but he just demonstrated like a true, genuine love and maturity level that you don't see a lot. Because in today's day and age, everybody's so competitive with each other. So the fact that I got his blessing just made me more ease, because I value his opinion so much. I value his feedback so much. And but I'm super excited to work in that capacity. Matt be on for at least 4 games that we know of. I know the first game is, you know, set in stone that he'll be there. You know, John Freeman is a guy that, you know, I built a relationship since I live here in Charlottesville. So just picking his brain of what I need to do, what my expectations are, and just understanding my place. Like, he drives the vehicles, he has the outline of the drawing, and his job to color in the lines and just fill in the blanks and help the audience kind of visually picture the game without being at the game, but not being like overly descriptive and speaking that football jargon that nobody understands. I can't be like, oh, there's a cover 2 right there, and he buzzed down. You're like, what is a buzz? You know? So like, well, yeah, man, just playing off coverage, and you know, it was like 8 yards off. He ran a 2-yard route.
Right.
Okay, it's too far off. There you go. Like, oh, he plays soft coverage. He gotta come up. Okay, what does come up? So, but I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited. I love the Wahoos, and I've been doing my podcast, so I just been trying to hone my skills, and now I'm called to do it each and every game versus doing in stadium bits on the jumbotron like I was doing the last years. So that helped prepare me for this as well. So, yeah, man, I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for the opportunity. But like I said, it's like kind of bittersweet because I know who I'm following.
Right.
I know who he followed. Like those 2 guys. Oh,
yeah.
I can't say
you're the third announcer in 42 years.
Yeah, I can't try to beat them. All I gotta do is be my best self and understand that the objective is to be better each and every time out, and just play my role. That's it. And that's how I approach it.
Yeah.
So before we go, how can our listeners find your Believe in Virginia podcast?
Oh man, so I'm glad you said. So we just rebranded it to that name, Believe in Virginia. For years it was just Ball Hawks podcast, but this year it was like, and you know, they pitched it like, why don't you just rebrand it to Believe in Virginia? Because I'm teetering more towards just doing football. I still do my like live streams where I talk about pro sports, but my true passion is talking Virginia football. But if they want to follow that, you can go to Believe, BLEAV.com. Podcast is listed there, but you can follow on iTunes, Spotify, Google. It's on. I saw that it's on Amazon now. I didn't even know that, but all your major podcast platforms. Even you just put in the Ball Hawk Show. If you forget that it's called Believe in Virginia, but if you put in the Ball Hawk Show, it may still pop up because of my name. But that's how they can find it. I have a YouTube page as well, the Ball Hawk Show podcast. You can just search that on YouTube, subscribe for me. Tech Fans a few years ago shut my old one down. That's another story that I trolled them so much that they got that page shut down. I was getting monetization off that page. They got me good. I tip my hat to them. They really served me as STHU juice that night because I came back home and YouTube your page on violation. So appreciate you, Tech Fans. They out the petty guy.
I gotta say, I highly recommend it. I've listened to some of your live episodes too, and they're very entertaining. So,
for all the people, if you listen to the live stream, because I'm a Facebook guy, I try to do Twitter's Facebook, but Facebook is like my domain. So a lot of my live shows are on Facebook Live. I know Ahmad Hawkins just searched that. I'll say the live streams, if it's non-Virginia football or anything, it's barbershop banter. So it's a lot of like loudmouth, foul people that would use some profanity, use some stances that you won't like. So it's for adults, and their views do not reflect the views of the host and the show and the sponsor. I won't put that out there. Yeah. But if anybody's ever looked at a live podcast, they will see my demeanor change if one of the guests say something about Virginia doing one of those. They get immediately booted, and I don't want to ever cross Virginia's brand with that banter. So I cut it off. So you won't get that type of banner. Want to Believe in Virginia. Believe in Virginia is clean, just analytics. Patty Hawker has some fun and give you the locker room type of vibes. But at the end of the day, it's all about just uplifting and coming to the common goal of seeing the program be successful, seeing the coaches be successful. And sometimes you gotta go on a rant sometimes, but it's all in good love.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. We would like to thank you so much for coming on, Ahmad. And have a great evening. Any closing thoughts?
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot, man. Go Hoos.
That's right. Go Hoos.
There you go.